games can be exciting, but the games inevitably end in a draw. And the single biggest reason is because players have about 6 months or more to prepare for the match. So, for example, the Canada's tournament, which I just played, it was in June and July. It ended, I think, around July 5th. The World Championship match will probably be in February of March. So that's, 9 months. And when players have that much time to prepare, they are not going to have any weaknesses in the opening phase of the game. And so both players are likely going to be very solid. You'll have a lot of draws. And in many cases, it might come down to tiebreaks. Magnus, in fact, in 2 of the matches, both against Karyakin and against Caruana, he had to win in rapid tiebreaks. So I think for Magnus, he just doesn't feel like the format is right. I think he feels that it's too long, too many draws. He doesn't get to play creative or exciting chess, and that's why I think he pushed so hard for a change in the format. I don't know what the right change would be, but I do think that the format is becoming a little bit antiquated with all these classical games. If you don't want to change the format, the one suggestion that I've mentioned before, and I think is probably still valid, is that the match should be held maybe 1 month after the Canada's tournament to determine the challenger. It's held 1 month after that event. That's probably the only way to keep the format as it is, where I think both players have time to prepare, but it's not something crazy. Because when you compare the candidates to other classical tournaments, let's just say St. Louis. I played there recently. I played the Rapid and Blitz, but there was the Sinkfield Cup. This was, I think, like September 10th, something like that. Point is, players probably came in and had a week or two to prepare for that tournament. Now there's the US Championship. Players had a little bit of time to prepare. You play the event. Normally, players don't have these long breaks where they can prepare for very long periods of time. So they are very well prepared, but you still have a lot of exciting games because that window of preparation is so much smaller.
But you're pretty close, given how things rolled out, to having the opportunity to compete for the World Championship. Hence the Copia meme, which I still don't quite understand. Are you and Magnus friends, enemies, frenemies? What's the status of the relationship?
Yeah, I think with all the rivalries in chess, everybody tries to hype it up like everyone hates each other. But the thing is, at the end of the day, yes, we're very competitive. We want to beat each other, whether it's myself or Magnus or other top players. But we also realize that it's a very small world. Like, a lot of us are able to make a living playing the game as professionals. And as I alluded to earlier, the top 20 to 30 players can make a living. So even though we're competitive against each other, we want to beat each other, there is a certain level of respect that we have, and there is a sort of brotherhood, I would say. So all of us are, I would say, frenemies. I think that's the simplest way of putting it.